Hello and welcome to Think, Create, Initiate podcast, hosted by Grace and Charlotte. This podcast will focus on key tools, techniques, insights to help you start and grow a profitable business while still in a job or in small pockets of time. We have a strong desire to help as many female entrepreneurs as possible to create a business from a passion that is unique to them, following our proven 4-part formula for success. So whether you're listening on the go or sitting back and relaxing, make sure you enjoy and implement any takeaways you learn today.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Think, Create, Initiate, from side hustle to startup. This time it's your host, Grace Nelson, here talking with a very special guest. So I'm really excited. So listeners, I would love to introduce you to Arisha. Hello, Arisha.
Hiya.
Hi, darling. Hi, darling. So we're very excited to have you on today's show, Arisha. Hope you're excited as well.
I'm so excited to be here.
Excellent. So we are going to learn more about Arisha, but as always, I don't like to give the game away. So I always hand it over to our special guests to firstly introduce themselves, talk about who they are and what exactly they do. So Arisha, take it away.
Okay. Hi, I'm Arisha Boyrangee. I am a quarter-life crisis coach. I have been in the coaching industry for about 5 years. I've been doing my coaching business as a side hustle for the past 2 years and loving every moment of it.
Love that. So straight away, your title, Quarter Life Crisis Coach, really, just made my eyebrows raise. And I'm sure the listeners are thinking, oh my gosh, I've never heard of this term. So talk to us, Arisha, what exactly do you do as a Quarter Life Crisis Coach?
Right. So I support women through their quarter life crisis. It's that feeling of so for me, I think it started when I was 21, which was quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished uni and I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I had no direction, no ambition, no drive to do anything specific, mainly because I hadn't sat down and really figured out what I wanted to do, but also because most of my life had been led by other people's expectations. Like my family expected me to go to university and get a good job and like climb the career ladder like a lot of parents do.
I know that all too well, Arisha, all too well. African parents over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the norm. It's the way that you grow up. It's the way that you live your life. And to be quite frank, absolutely everybody I know has done that path. Every single person has gone to school, gone to college, or did sixth form, went to university and got a job. And that's what I did. And I realized I was so unhappy and not in control. I felt completely out of control of my life because I wasn't the one that was making decisions. I wasn't the one really stepping up to the plate and saying, well, what is it that I actually want to do? And following that through, because that path is so unsecure. That path is there's no support, there's no answers. All of the answers come from within you, and you have to be able to look deep and within before you can even think about taking your next step. So I 100% believe that anybody from 21 to 45 can still be in their quarter life crisis and still be living up to other people's expectations as opposed to their own. And I support women stepping up to the plate, learning to look within themselves, figuring out what they really actually want out of life and who they truly want to be in this life, and helping bring that out in them and making sure that they live every day that they want to live, the way they want to live it.
Brilliant. And what a fantastic cause and mission just to empower these women within that age bracket. And I have to say, it wasn't until my 30s that I decided that I no longer wanted to seek permission from others. I was even the smallest decisions, because it had been so ingrained in my daily practices, etc. I was always seeking permission for the little things, and it does wear you down and wear you out, to be fair.
100%. It doesn't only just wear you down, but you become lazy. You expect other people to tell you what to do. You expect other people to be like, oh, shall we go for dinner? You expect other people to say, oh, let's go on this holiday.
Yeah.
Or, all the things, and deciding what you have for dinner, things like that you just lose control over and let somebody else take away. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes you just want to be lazy, and sometimes you just want to be looked after. But there are days, and I know that feeling when you end a day and you feel like, what have I actually done?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
what did I step up to the plate and do? What was I thinking about throughout this day? And a lot of the time, people don't think that and just continue every single day exactly the same way each and every single day.
Exactly. And that's more or less you're coasting in life because you don't have any power and someone else is mapping out your life. So I completely agree with that. So Arisha, share with us then, talk us around your breakthrough moment of when you actually wanted to become a quarter life crisis coach. When did you start this entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start with my coaching journey because I think that just leads on to everything. So about 6 years ago, I worked for the number one HR company in the UK, obviously because I've had a degree, got a good job. I was on the path that everybody expected me to be on. I was working my way up and I was introduced to coaching. I'd done my psychology degree, so I knew what coaching was, but I didn't know how it worked. I'd never been coached before. And I, in my head, was going down the HR route. And I found coaching and I found it so interesting and actually really such a kind thing to do for somebody, to be able to coach them through whatever it is that they need support with. And my company supported execs, so we were doing a lot of exec coaching, and I just found the whole thing really, really interesting. And so I started my coaching journey. I found courses that I wanted to go on, and I was told by my company that I'd get support through my coaching journey and through my starting up my own business. And then the company went through a few changes and all of that support disappeared. And I basically had two choices: either continue with the company or do my own thing. And I decided to do my own thing, mainly out of frustration, because I didn't want to wait to be able to live my dreams. I didn't want to wait to be able to be a coach. It was that spark, that need, that frustration of and that pressure that I was in, to say to myself, well, actually, I can do it myself. I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to afford this. I don't know where I'm going to get the time. I don't know when I'm going to be able to say it out loud to other people, but I'm going to do it. And that's when I started thinking about working for myself and how to figure out to create a business, because I'm not business minded. I'm really, really into psychology, and I'm really, really into building better humans and happy humans. And going from there and deciding that I wanted to start my own business was a massive skip, jump and leap for me. It was all of the above. But luckily I have amazing parents who are in their own business and who supported me through absolutely every step of that journey. But it was tough mentally because you know what you want to do, but it's all of the other stuff that comes along with it. And then I started coaching. I started learning more about coaches and the 1,000,001 different types of coaching that there are. And a lot of going into this coaching industry and learning about coaching and the different types of coaching that you can do, you really become introspective and you really start to learn a lot about yourself as well. And I realized that I'd been on a journey that was somebody else's since my 20s, since really early 20s.
Oh, wow.
And I really, really dug into that and looked at it in a much more in a deeper perspective, basically, and figured that this is where I want to support people. And it is in our quarter life. We are at the beginning of our life. We have so much life to live left. And I think changing that in your quarter life, like changing that part of you so early on, can help you live a happier and longer life.
Yes, I completely agree. Fantastic. So Arisha, tell us then, with you entering into the world of coaching, quarter life crisis coaching specifically, how was it starting and building a business while still in a job?
Terrifying.
Yeah, because many of our listeners now, they're probably at the early stages of thinking, they've got an idea they want to start, or they're a bit further on into it. So it'll be good to hear from you.
Yeah. So I think everybody goes through this at first. I think it's like your dirty little secret. It's like, what, I'm going against the grain, and I don't want to tell everybody because everybody's going to think that I'm so wrong, that I'm completely insane, that I can't do it, that it's not possible for somebody my age, and I was over 30 at the time, my age, to do it. It's like, I've got a business degree and a psychology degree, like, what am I doing stepping out on my own? I've got a really secure job in a really good company. What on earth am I thinking? I must be going out of my mind. And the reverse was happening for me. I needed to be able to step out of what everybody else expected. But my business journey was really supported by my parents. It was really lovely to have that secure place where I could go and talk to them. They don't necessarily believe in coaching, but they do believe in me. Yeah. So there's always that little battle of, well, I'm going to be heart-centered and soul-aligned with my business and think from that perspective. But they were very, very supportive. And I remember doing I did a live on Facebook on my personal page for the very first time, informing absolutely everybody on Facebook, which at the moment it felt like the entire world. And I remember telling people that I was shifting, that I was changing careers, and this is what I was doing. And I got so much love and positive feedback and support that I honestly don't know why I had so much fear in the first place, because I do have amazing friends and family. But it is about taking that step. And I think I got to a point where I couldn't be scared anymore, where I couldn't hide it. It was getting too big inside me to shield and to hide inside. So I had to tell people.
Yeah, it's true. All it takes is that first initial step, because most people live with that fear of the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does cripple a lot of dreams.
Yeah, it does. It does greatly. So, Arisha, what challenges then did you face when getting started, or even down the line as well, with setting up as a quarter-life crisis coach? Did you find it's a new concept to most people and having to explain it, or?
Yeah. I think the term quarter-life crisis is really, really new. It is not something that a lot of people have heard of. A lot of people have heard of life crisis, midlife crisis. A lot of people have heard of execs and like people high up in business having breakdowns through stress, through pressure, through all kinds of things. But nobody ever considers a crisis as something, as living a life that's completely different to the one that you're supposed to be living. Everybody thinks that a crisis is a breakdown, and it's not. It's a dissonance between you and what you're actually doing, and having that confusion and that space and that gap in between where you should be and where you actually are in life, and that confusion that it can build. So yes, I definitely think that there's a lot of people out there that have never heard of the term before. I think for me, in my world, in my life, there aren't very many coaches anyway. So coaching as an entity is very new as well. So I think a lot of people are being introduced to it by me talking about it, by me being open and sharing what I do.
Okay. Well, that's good then. And the fact that you're bringing this new concept to the fore so that people are recognizing that there is, this is a real thing that people go through, and it's not something that's bad, because it's just a recognition of where you are now, and it's a transformational process that will get you to where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the different mindsets that you have are really, really obvious when you're in this quarter life crisis. Like when you're at the beginning stages of your life, when you're deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life, it is a commitment. And a lot of people commit to other people's expectations and other people's like social pressures and social norms. And they forget that they have a choice. And I think a lot of the time it's the choice that they make that creates the the frustration and the problems and depression and anxiety and all of those things.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is true. Wow, you're really dropping some wisdom on us today. I'm hooked on every word. So this is brilliant, Arisha.
Aw.
So
Sorry.
Arisha, what I would like to know, and I know the listeners would like to know as well, is what does a typical day look like in your life? Talk us through your routine.
Okay, so I am not a morning person. Like, I will fully 100% confess
Yes.
that right here, right now.
Mhm.
It is one of my goals in life to become a morning person, but I'm not.
Join
So
the 5 a.m. club. Yeah, I've missed that club for a while, to be fair.
I read it. I thought the book was going to change my whole life. It was
Yes.
an amazing, amazing book, and it didn't. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I do wake up. I lay in bed. I have an incredible app called Insight Timer, and I'll do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever I need of meditation. And I'll do it lying in bed because, quite frankly, I get to choose how I meditate. So I will put that on for the first 5-10 minutes, and I think it just takes me out of my dream state and like more into me.
Yes.
And I find those first 5-10 minutes really, really precious. I'll either lie in bed or sit on my comfy chair in my PJs, meditate for 5 minutes, and then I will put on some music, some like lively dance music, and then have a shower, brush my teeth, get ready for work.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst I'm getting ready for work, I'll still listen to music, or I'll put on a podcast, like a business podcast, an entrepreneurial podcast, an inspirational podcast.
This
I
podcast.
absolutely love podcasts. I think that if I could, I would listen to them all day.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. You're in the right place.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to listen to people that inspire them, that talk about things that interest them, not just the news or the latest TV show. I think it's really important to be able to expand your mind, and podcasts are probably one of the easiest ways to do that, which is why I think what you guys are doing is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
And then I'll get ready for work. I'll go to work for 8:30. I currently work in a barn 10 minutes away from my house, which is amazing.
Not a bad setup.
Sorry?
Not a bad setup, that.
Definitely 100% not a bad setup. My drive is amazing. And I currently work in project management for a training company, which I absolutely love. I think project management just goes with my brain. It's something that I absolutely love doing. My brain works with it. I'm always in flow. I always know what I'm doing, and I absolutely love my job that I do. And then I'll either go for, today I went for a lovely country walk during my lunch break, because we have an amazing park near where I work. And then I came home. I'll either have like a really late lunch and then go to a hot yoga class, and then come home and do some work, and then I'll go to bed.
Okay, excellent. So, okay, with all that then, and obviously you're serving a nation of women going through the quarter life crisis. What keeps you motivated on a daily basis? How do you pick yourself up if you ever get down or feel frustrated?
I used to really get frustrated with working full time and not having enough time for my business. And one of the things that I was told to do was to start over again. So I love a hot shower first thing in the morning. So I'll come home from work, have a really hot shower, dance my ass off, and start working as if I'm starting my day again.
Okay. Yes.
I think having an amazing coach for me really, really helps. Like, I will be able to I can message my coach whenever, wherever, and she'll always have great advice, or she'll always have time for me, which I think having that support and having that understanding of what it is like to create a coaching business is so, so important for me. And then obviously, like, having friends that are in the business that you can bounce ideas off, that you can like say that you are crashing, and to cry to and to seek advice from is so important. Finding your tribe and finding women that understand what you're going through is really, really important and so helpful in your hour of need.
I love that. And it seems that you've really got a good support network around you. Firstly, starting with your parents, and now with your mental coach, and also your other sisters or,
Yeah.
business builders as well. Love that. Love that. It keeps
Absolutely.
you
I think,
resilient.
yeah, and I think because I've got such a good balance as well. My parents are in the business, my friends are really, really supportive, and obviously my coaches in the coaching industry, and you guys as well. I think it's really lovely to have a balance of people around you, so that they can say you're going too much into the coaching world, have another glass of champagne. Like,
Yeah.
it's really nice to have the balance. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. So this has been a brilliant interview so far, and I know that the listeners have probably, their ears have pricked up even more as you've continued to relay more about your life and different events, etc. But it will be good if you could leave us with your 3 top tips for any woman now currently listening who feels that they may be going through the quarter life crisis. They're unfulfilled, they're not satisfied with what they're doing, they don't know their purpose at the moment. What 3 top tips would you say to them right now?
So my first thing would be to find the thing that you want to do for the rest of your life. Like, really look in, really be aware of your emotions, aware of your actions, aware of where you feel like you want to do more of and where you don't want to be anymore. Because it's really difficult to know what you want to do and go for it, because it's scary, right? But learning about what you want to do and developing that knowledge around that topic is so important for you to take your first step. So that would be my first advice. Really understand what you want to do. And if you don't, look at the people that you admire, look at the people that you are naturally drawn to. What are they doing? What is it that draws you to them? What is it that interests you in those topics? And really figure that out first to know where your first step should be. My second would be 100% find your tribe. 100%. That's why I have a Facebook group. It's to support women who are feeling exactly the same way all day, every day. I think it's really important to find people that understand what you're going through, understand who you are, and to be able to speak openly about what you're going through to people that understand is such a blessing. So definitely find your tribe. And 3, take your time. Like, you have so much time, don't rush it. I think sometimes people can feel like they're running out of time or they're wasting time, and time is literally what we make of it. We can spend as much time as we like thinking about what we're going to do. Obviously you have to act at some point, but don't rush into things that you're uncertain about. Talk them through. I'm always around, you guys are always around, so I definitely speak to somebody before you take your first step.
Wow, they are a brilliant set of top tips. And, I especially like the fact about take your time. Time is relative. So many of us are thinking, maybe they're nearing their 40s and thinking, oh my God, I should have it together now.
Yeah.
So they feel they've got to rush into something. But take your time. Make sure that whatever you embark upon now is for the right reason. It's going to light you up. It's going to fulfill you and bring you joy,
absolutely.
essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And our lives are our own, so we can do what we want with them.
Yeah. So true. So thank you so much, Arisha. Absolutely loved interviewing you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. Taken away a lot. So where can we find you hanging out? Talk to us.
Okay. So I am an old school Facebook girl. I have a personal page which is under Arisha Boyrangee, but I also have a business page and a Facebook group under The Coachable You. I also have an Instagram page under The Coachable You, full of beautiful pictures of me and inspirational quotes. And if you just want to follow my life, I'm on Instagram as Arisha Boyrangee. I also have a website called The Coachable You as well.
Coachable You, love that brand, and the branding as well. So under this audio in the show notes, we're going to drop all your handles so that people can just click through and follow you and be part of your journey or reach out to you as well.
Okay? Amazing. Thank you.
No worries. Well, again, thank you so much, Arisha, on behalf of myself and the listeners as well. And we wish you all the best with your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's podcast episode. Please be kind enough to leave a review and let me know what your biggest takeaway was from today's episode. Also, are there any future discussions and topics that you want to hear delivered by myself? By leaving a review, it will ensure that not only will this podcast rank higher, but more fabulous women like yourself can get to enjoy more of this great content to take away, absorb, and integrate into their lives. So thank you so much in advance for doing so. Love and light.